I'm here to talk about why you need more silliness in your workplace. So my name's Ann Hamilton, and I'm a technology project manager. I used to work for large multinational corporations, and I'd work with teams in the US to develop software products, and then work with teams in Europe to integrate those products for launch across the European markets. So people don't really like project managers. It's your job to get projects completed, so you're always telling everybody what to do. So I've found that a little humor at the right time allows people to pause and remember themselves. And that creates a space for real communication. So silliness is, when you bring silliness into your work, you want to be competent first. Because silliness is not about goofing around, wasting valuable time. And silliness is not a note on someone's back that makes fun of them at their expense. Silliness at its best is a brief invitation for someone to play with you. So I'm telling you a story about how silliness helped change a group of people into a team. We're at a company-wide conference in Germany, and it's the first time we're meeting all the European offices. They've got us seated together in work groups so we can get to know each other. And it's day 3, and it's been long, and we're tired, and it's in a slow period. So I pick up a piece of bread from the table, and I launch it across the table at Stefan, the engineer. And it hits him, and I look away and pretend I didn't do it. And he's startled, but then he smiles, and within a minute, bing, a little piece of French bread bounces off my water glass. So then the woman next to me gets in on it, and she hucks a piece of French bread. And pretty soon our whole table is hucking French bread quietly, and we're kind of giggling. And the next week on our conference call, Stefan says, he's German. He says, well, you can't huck bread at me over the phone. And everybody starts laughing, and you can feel the shift in the call. And we've become a team. So silliness is actually pretty subtle. It's about that moment of recognition. I mean, it's about recognizing what's appropriate and choosing to step over those lines deliberately. So when you pick someone to play with, you always want to remember you're picking a partner, not a victim. So this is a story about silliness and other people's boundaries. So we're leaving a lunch meeting, and the woman in front of me has made a plate of cookies up and a brownie, and they're perfect. They're little napkins on the tray, and it looks like a bakery window display. And it's so perfect that I can't help myself. I reach over when she's not looking and take a bite out of her brownie and put it back. Well, I think this is funny. She does not. When she sees it, she's pissed. And I immediately confess, and I drag her over to the table. I'm like, let's get another brownie. And this is the day I learned that corner brownies are actually special and highly prized by some people. So I'm apologizing profusely, and I mean it. I feel bad I messed up her treat. And it's good that I was sincere, because that sincerity gave her the space to be gracious and to forgive me. And after that, we worked really well together because we had developed a trust relationship. So silliness is about that moment of recognition when somebody's startled that another adult would do something so inappropriate. And when you're in that moment, you're not a project manager and an engineer. You're connecting as humans. And when you connect at that level, it sticks. So this is my last story. I'm going to a meeting, and I see my teammate running in to get to the elevator next to me. And since I get out ahead of her, I scoot over next to her elevator, and I'm standing right next to it, and I'm going to scare her. And so I get all crouched down, and as I'm waiting to scare her, I hear a bing, and I realize the elevator directly across the hall has opened up. And here I am crouched down, ready to pounce, and I look over, and it's my boss and the president of North American operations. And they're looking at me completely deadpan as their elevator closes. So I'm a little embarrassed. And when next time I see my boss, he says, we didn't say a word the entire rest of the elevator ride. But then when they got to the meeting, as they were walking in, the president finally said, well, I guess I'm glad she wasn't in front of our elevator. And they started to laugh, and then they told that story at the beginning of their meeting. And though I don't think my boss ever admitted he actually knew me, he did say it was a good icebreaker. So silliness at the right moments can allow people to make human connections. And that is a real space for communication. Thank you.